Okay, good morning, people. Today we're working on a 2016 Honda HR-V or vezel. This is a hybrid vehicle, and today's video is going to be very interesting because we're going to try to answer one of the main questions that technicians do between them and also customer is how often do you need to service your high voltage battery, and of course the compartment and all whatever has to be directly related to the battery itself. So we'll continue and I'll be showing you what is it that we're doing over here. Alright, so from this perspective you can see where the battery compartment is. It's in the rear trunk of the vehicle, and we're trying to find out what's going on with these vehicles, if you really need to service your battery and how often you need to take it out to service. Well, this vehicle might be a little like 4 years and never serviced it, and I will show you physically what is it that's going on inside this cabin and why. So we'll continue there. Alright, so I am not really showing you the procedure how to take out the battery because we have another video that we might do that, but this is just for, you know, servicing purposes and asking that main question. So we already took out the battery. This is the rear compartment. The battery goes right here located. All right, this, what you see over here, is the suction vent that goes directly into the battery itself. It doesn't go to the fan, it goes to the battery, meaning that if you can observe right here all this mess, all of this is coming directly from the battery. Yeah, hard to believe, right? Well, I can show you. Just a moment. This is the suction vent. The suction vent, let's see if we can get a little more perspective of this. Yep, there you go. Everything going directly into the cells before the fan. That's why some people say, no, you really don't need to clean your fan of your Honda. Yeah, because it's not about the fan who's really getting dirt first. It's the battery itself and all inside its housing. So, well, we will continue. Let's take a look at the battery now. Okay, this is the side compartment. It uses this vent over here, but it doesn't use any type of filter of nothing. Now you might be able to make one and just fit it over here, so you will save very much your battery life just by, you know, taking this out and cleaning it every often. So we had to take this out in order to take out the duct vent. And all right, well, here we have the battery. The battery is upside down, of course. You can see the junction block and everything, but we're not going to talk about the battery itself, but the condition of it. And here we go. This is the bottom. This is the very bottom of the battery, and voila. See, well, I already put my hands on here, but look, there you go. Now, the real problem is that all this mess gets clogged inside the gap between the cells, and that's what causes your battery to overheat in time. So we really need to service all these components. And well, let me just clean it up and I'll keep posting. Right, just a moment. There, how about that, eh? There you go. So this comes directly from the inverter and the converter assembly, and look, dirt as much as it can. So yes, this battery definitely needs to be disassembled and cleaned. How often? We'll see about that. We'll continue. cleared our inlet, the lowest compartment of the battery. We're going to assemble back and start servicing from the very top. We'll continue, guys. Alright, so the bottom part of the battery is done, so we're gonna take out now the high voltage battery cooling fan and see where we find in there. We'll continue. Alright. So there's our inverter and our converter assembly there. Now let's take a look at the fan. Yes, there you go. You see all that debris there? Let's see if we can get a little better light. Alright, just a moment. Yeah. Yes. Let's see if we can get that. Huh, how about that, eh? Now why I didn't want to ask this main question, because I heard a lot of technicians saying in the social media, and even saying customers complaining that some technicians are saying this, the Honda batteries, they don't need to service, and the whole Honda high voltage battery cooling fan don't need to service. Well, here's the proof that they need to be serviced too. Maybe not so often as Toyota, but they need to be serviced because they accumulate a lot of debris and dirt. The fan is the very last component that receives the air, but if the fan is in this condition, just imagine how was the cells itself. Now in the video, sadly you couldn't see much details how much dirt was coming out of the cells gap between each other, but it was a mess, believe me. And well, we're gonna disassemble this fan, clean up this housing and the blades, and that should be it. Alright, so we will continue. So we completely disassembled the fan, and surprise, surprise, look what we had over here. There you go. Alright, can you see the blades? That means your efficiency of blowing won't be as much as when it's clean, of course. So because of that, this fan needs to be disassembled every so often. But we will still, I don't know, by the end of the video we will discuss how often you need to service this for real. But as you can see, we're gonna clean this up and I'll show you when it's ready. We'll continue. Alright guys, so after we finish the fan, you see, yep, there's a big difference, right? Now it will be very much efficient now blowing the air from the battery itself. So as we remember, this device, instead of blowing into the battery, it blows out of the battery. So this is the very last device that receives the air. So it's very important that it be as clean as possible, so it will blow as much efficient. So we're going to assemble and we'll continue then. So what about the ventilation ducts? What do you think? There you go. Let's see, what about this one? So, what do you think? Yes, well, the ventilation ducts, they also need servicing every often, or all of this is going direct into your cells. How about that? We'll continue then. Big difference, eh? So we clean them up. We also took out these moisture absorbers in both sides. We cleaned them. Now it's ready to put back in. So we'll start assembling now, guys. I'll be showing you. We'll continue. Alright, so as you can see, this compartment, yeah, looks different, right? And the suction duct is also impeccable, even inside. So this goes over here, but I'm not going to assemble just yet because the battery is going in first. So we'll continue after the battery is in. I'll keep showing. Well, yes, the battery is in with a much cleaner compartment now. So, well, the next thing we need to do over here is just assemble the parts and start the vehicle, and well, that's just gonna take me a few more minutes. But then we finally want to discuss definitely how often is it that you really have to service the high voltage system on Hondas. It could be the Vezel, HRV, it could be the Accord Civic, it could be the Fit Hybrid. Well, there's not really a good definitely answer, because it's always going to depend the user itself. So how clean do you keep your compartment? Do you keep it clean very often, or you just go to the beach every weekend, you don't even vacuum your vehicle, you know? So, well, that really depends on that. But if you ask my personal opinion, I would always recommend, and I always recommend my customers actually, to service the high voltage system at least once a year. Maybe, depends, if you keep it very clean, maybe every 2 years. Well, if you have any suggestion, please just blow up your comment, and well, I will start to read everything. But that's my personal opinion. A lot of technicians should have their opinion, of course, but I even heard a lot of technicians that they even recommend their customers that this system doesn't need servicing. Well, I have no comments about that. That is the thing. I think that's very irresponsible. That is very arrogant, because every component in a vehicle needs servicing, whether you like it or not. But as I said, it always going to depend on your professionalism.
Jerry 1493.
So it's about, first of all, our job of us, the hybrid and electric vehicle specialist technicians, but also just to get knowing what is it that it needs to be done for sure in this vehicle. So, well, that's my personal opinion. I would say once a year, maybe 2 years. I think that will be fine. Well, I hope you guys like this video, so I'll see you in the next episode. Laters, peace. Alright, so let's see if you guys agree with me. Let's just follow a little quick how the cooling system works in this high voltage battery system of Honda, and then we will finally make a decision if it needs servicing or not, and how often. So let's take a look. This is our suction point. Alright, so the air travels all the way to this duct. Not into the fan, but directly into the top of the cells. So it travels all the way into the cells, underneath this cover, of course. On the bottom part that you saw we cleaned it already. Then it travels through a side to the inverter and the converter assembly, and then finally reaches to the fan. And the fan will just blow out everything into this chamber. So what do you think? Does it really need to be serviced or not? Of course, this vehicle uses a very strong fan because it works different. Most of the Toyota vehicles that I've seen works different. It's the fan itself that blows in first, and well, this one works all backwards. But even though, I'm not sure how efficient this could be in time if you don't clean it. So if you ask me, my personal opinion, I would definitely say yes, this really needs to be serviced as often as you can. And of course, I'm always going to recommend, if this type of system really needs to be a clear compartment into because everything's been sucked into the battery. Anyway, you will just leave your comments and we'll discuss that. We'll continue.